You shared with me your story about unfortunately losing your husband. How many years ago was that?
Just over 4.5 years now.
What is this thing that I came to? I'd heard about it. Obviously, with all my research, it was called extraocular vision. And so I had to come and see it for my own eyes, excuse the pun. I think it was the colours, but
Yeah.
instantly she could see without her eyes. And I looked at you and I thought, is this really happening?
So, why would you not teach them this, teach them how to be connected to their own self all the time so that life is easier for them? I just want life to be easier for everyone, but especially for children.
Imagine if the children were learning these skills and having that empathy
Yeah.
for others, how it
Exactly.
could revolutionise schools.
Yeah, that's right, because these kids are hurting and the bullies are hurting too. Otherwise, they wouldn't feel the need to lash out at people.
We are spreading the message that children have these capabilities that are being suppressed, and they have many benefits. As a single mom to 3 boys, doing all of these beautiful things for the world. And so I just want to take my hat off you and recognise you as a powerhouse mother who is a visionary. A visionary voice can be someone like yourself who has turned their pain into some purpose as well, wanting to help others. Welcome, Irma, to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
It's wonderful to have you. Now, I thought I would share, first of all, our backstory because it's a really interesting one. I connected with you, I think it was February this year. Can you remember it was February?
I think it was around February, yeah.
And I found you because I was watching Gaia. And for those that don't know what Gaia is, it's like the Netflix of the spirituality world. And there was a show on there, and it was called, I think it was called Superpowers. And
Yeah.
it was about children that could see without their eyes. And I was watching it and going, what is this show? What are these children actually doing? And then I was like, okay, I need to find out more about this. This is fascinating. So, true Beck style, I went on this whole rabbit hole deep dive.
Yeah.
And I
Where are
found
these
this.
people?
I found this organization in the UK, and your name was on the website as somebody that facilitated this with children. And I was like, okay. And she's in Australia. And then I couldn't believe it when I messaged you, and you were actually an hour and a half up the road.
Yeah, that was
I'm
pretty
in,
lucky.
I know. I'm in New South Wales, Australia, and you're just literally an hour and a half away. And you were so kind because we spoke on the phone, I think, for I don't know, an hour and a half or something. And it was such a beautiful conversation. And you kindly shared with me some of your story. And then you offered me you kindly offered me the quantum hypnosis session as well and invited me up. So it was one of those instant connections. So
Yeah.
first of all, I'm so grateful for you to do that. And ever since, we've connected a few times.
Yes.
And you shared with me your story about unfortunately losing your husband. How many years ago was that?
Just over 4.5 years now.
And for someone that you'd just spoken to, I was just completely blown away because you have 3 sons, so you're a single mom. And from what you shared, all the things that you've been doing since, you're just such a super mom. So kudos to you.
Very kind of you.
And I and I remember having recently read a chapter of Your Soul's Love by Robert Schwartz. And I think it was called Interdimensional Parenting, where you could actually co-parent with your loved one that had passed over. And I remember mentioning this to you because I knew that you were open to all of this stuff, obviously doing quantum hypnosis and helping children see without their eyes. And I found the chapter, I sent it to you, and I was reading it, and I was like, wow, this is happening. And you're just so grateful for me to share that with you. And that's
that was what I wanted to, I couldn't see the reason for him leaving. I still felt like he was part of the family, even though he wasn't in his body. So that was the a little piece that made me go, he doesn't have to be gone out of the family, you know.
Did you do anything with the chapter? Because I know how busy you are.
No, it was more of a confirmation that it's okay.
Mm.
It's okay for that to be a real thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, are you over his death now? Have you moved on with your life? But that's not how it worked in my mind. It's like you don't get over it, you don't move on. You just incorporate this change into your life and try and make sense of it and keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was that validation for you that this can
Yeah.
happen, and
Yeah. That
you
someone
feel
else
his
has thought of
presence.
that.
Yes. Yeah, and I never heard of it before, and it was I think I'd read that chapter maybe 1 or 2 weeks before we connected,
That
and that's
was,
why I just
yeah.
felt called to share it with you, and I'll put the details in the links underneath for everyone that's watching and listening.
Like,
So, we connected, I came up to see you, and then you kindly invited me then to an expo that you were
that's
facilitating. Do you
right.
would like to
Yeah.
tell us more about that?
So I had booked a stall at the New Earth Expo in Murwillumbah just to put it out there what I'm doing, the work I'm doing. So that's working with children or with the blindfolds, so teaching them to expand their consciousness and how to see. She wanted to find out more about it, and I'm like, "Oh, come and hang out at the stall and see what it is, find out more." Yeah.
So, yes, what is this thing that I came to? You know, I'd heard about it. Obviously, with all my research, it was called extraocular vision. And so I had to come and see it for my own eyes, excuse the pun.
With your own eyes.
With my own eyes, I had to come and see it because I'd bought a book and I'd done some research. You asked me to the expo, and I was, okay, that's it. I'm coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, actually. I missed the voting for that day, and I just got yesterday a fine of
Same.
$55 for not voting. And I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't know. I was
I didn't know
volunteering
either.
at an expo.
I know. We're like busy.
Did you not know what we were doing?
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite funny. And I came along, you had a beautiful stand there, and then this girl came along. We won't mention her name just for privacy.
Yeah.
And she put on this blindfold, and these are mind sight blindfolds, right? So there is no way of seeing. Like, I've tested it.
Yeah.
The reviews say there's no way of seeing.
The blackout. Yeah.
And so you put it on her, and what was the first activity that she did?
I don't know. I can't remember whether we just did colours first or there was the bottle game. I don't know.
I think it was the colours, but
Yeah.
instantly she could see without her eyes. And I looked at you and I thought, is this really happening? Because even though I've been stepping into the spiritual world for the last 6 years since my dark night of the soul, and I've had many since then, I was still a skeptic, right? So I was
Yeah.
like,
I
I
know. I
remember
could
like
feel it.
nodding my head underneath to see if she could like, and then because her mother was working on another stand,
Yeah.
she was there nearly for 4 hours, I think, and
Yeah.
she was just so remarkable. She was then
Yeah.
even teaching the other children to see,
Yeah. Yeah.
and she even took me down through the expo and asked me to point out colours, and so I just couldn't believe how joyful she was.
Yeah.
And I've written a blog about this, and in fact, I've got a couple of blogs on my website about this, so people can go and have a read exactly what happened during that time. But I was so blown away, and the joy that emanated from her that also radiated across the other children was just
Yes.
remarkable. So
Yeah.
can you give me some details about how does it work? How does extraocular vision work? Do you even know?
I don't know if they 100% know, but there's lots of theories. One theory is that every cell in our body has photosensitive cells that carry the information, which is so everything. We are energy, light is energy, color, everything is energy. So you're picking up the information on and taking that to the brain and basically decoding it. Another sort of theory is that because we are all energy, you learn to, I guess, it's just like training your brain. Okay, this color yellow has this particular frequency, and that feels like this, and red has a different frequency and that feels like this. So it's like you can focus your consciousness on anything. We start off with colors right in front of you, but you just pick up, okay, what's that frequency? Okay, that's yellow. And then after a while, you can see it, your brain learns, and you see the color in your mind.
And what are the benefits of children learning this new skill? Or some would call it
Um,
like a superpower or whatever you
Superpower.
like to define it as.
I think just about anything that you can think of. It's benefited kids with their self-esteem, their regulation, like emotional regulation, their confidence, their learning in any field. Like if you want to be better at playing the piano or soccer or maths, you do your homework or do your practice with your mindfold on, and then you're using your consciousness. You're using like all or most of your brain instead of 5% to do it that way. And then they're tapping into this other energy field and they're getting amazing results.
And
It's
how did you even get into this?
similar to you. It was probably a few years earlier, probably 2020 or 2021. I was watching, I think it was probably Superpowers, but earlier it wasn't on Gaia yet. I wasn't, it was just a doco. And I'm like, I saw it. I'm like, I need to know this. I need to learn this. I didn't know why. I just knew I needed to learn it. So I did. And I used it with my children, one of my children, and everyone's got different talents. So there's different things. It's not just about reading with a blindfold on. There's different, I guess, things that you teach them. So you teach them about healing, you teach them about communicating energetically, like telepathically. So there's lots of different manifestations that come from this one modality. I found it really good. One of my kids, like on the third lesson, started reading with the blindfold on, and it wasn't until I saw it with my own eyes that I sort of started to think, "Wow, this is real, and why has no one told us this?" And it's a lot of belief there as well. Children can do it so much easier than adults because they're still open. Their left brain hasn't taken over yet, that analytical part of their brain that says, "This is possible, this is not possible." So if you tell them, "Well, yeah, you put this on, you can see," they're like, "Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I
Mm.
can too." And they can some of them, they can instantly see just because you tell them that, yeah, you can. And they're like, "Oh, yeah." The funny thing is it's more exciting for most adults than it is for children. They don't make a big deal about it. Whereas adults are like, "Oh my God, that is so cool." The kids are like, "Oh yeah, whatever."
Well, I
So
remember asking you, like, oh my God, can I do it? I really want to do it. Can adults do it? And you said
yeah.
that adults can do it, but it just takes longer.
Yeah. Yep. I know a few adults who can do it. One in particular, it's not every time, but sometimes she can do it and she'll have the blackout mask on and she can see 360 full color like daytime. It's
Mm.
amazing.
Wow. Well, my child,
Yay.
I was so inspired by what I saw at the expo that I asked you to train me and give me some guidelines around what to do. And when I had my child in the school holidays, I set up all this kind of activities, like even ones that you hadn't shown me. I set up and I was so excited and he was so excited.
Yeah.
And he put the blindfold on. Well, before he did that, I said to him, okay, you're going to see without your eyes. And he was like, no, don't be stupid. Children can't do that. And so he didn't believe it at all. He thought I was, I
Yeah.
think, off with the fairies.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he put the mask on, we did the first game, which was it was like felt, colored felt. And he would hold it. And he got everyone correct. And
Yeah.
after the first one, I showed him, he took his mask, he goes, "No way!" And he like threw his mask off and he was just like in disbelief. And then I thought, I'm not going to show him or tell him anymore. I'm going to write it
Yeah.
down so that, I don't have to keep taking his mask off. And he got them all
Yeah.
right. Then I did a bottle game where he had to guess where the bottles were in which order. And he did 4 out of 6 on that one.
Yeah.
Then he did the parachute game, which I made up, which he had to walk
Yeah.
around. And then it was interesting because when he sat down on a coloured square, he actually would say, "Oh, this feels sandy." this is yellow, and this feels like the
Yes.
ocean, this is blue. And
Yes.
it reminded me of what that girl did at the expo.
Yeah.
She was talking about how it made her feel.
Yes.
And I was recording some of this, and some of it's on my website for those that want to see it. And I just, even though I'd seen it in action with you and on documentaries and on
Yeah.
shows, and I've, gone down the rabbit hole, but to actually see your own son doing it,
Yeah.
then I got the sight words out and
Yeah.
the cards, and then he's just started reading. And I know
Yeah.
you told me that there's only a small percentage of children can get it straight away. And then at night
I think
time,
that's increasing though from what
is
I'm
it?
seeing.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think so too. I think this could have really started something off with the vibration
Yeah.
of where the planets go in, etc.
Yeah.
And that night I said to him, "Do you want to read a book?" I was like, "This is quite an advanced level, so don't worry if you don't get it." So
Yeah.
I gave him a book that I used to read to his brother. So he had never seen this book before. I pulled it out from some cupboard that had
Yeah.
been collecting dust or something. And it was called How Do I Love You? And he just sat in bed, blindfold on, and just started reading this book. And again, I'm just like, he just nailed every word. And he
Yeah.
kind of hesitated on one page, which helped me believe that it was real.
Yeah.
And I recorded that too. And I just mind blowing, because we don't get taught this. Like this, I've
No.
never even heard of this stuff until
No.
this year.
Yeah.
Like, why are kids not being taught that this is possibility, that we have this
I
extra
know.
sense?
Exactly. And it's using their own, like it's like to do it, they have to be connected to their own, to their heart, to their core. It's like they have to be in that aligned state.
Mm,
And when they're in that aligned state, they can do anything. So, why would you not teach them this, teach them how to be connected to their own self all the time so that life is easier for them? I just want life to be easier for everyone, but especially for children. The world is
yeah.
getting harder and scarier, or maybe that's just because I'm getting older.
No, it's actually a bit crazy out there right now.
Yeah,
That's one of the reasons
yeah,
I'm doing this podcast,
yes.
to bring a bit of light and love into the world,
Yeah,
and to
beautiful.
show that there's more to this 3D reality than we think as
Exactly,
well.
exactly. And what if every child grew up knowing they could do this? Like the other benefit is you can read people's minds, so you can know what someone's intentions are towards you, so it can keep them safe as well.
Mm,
Even when they're older, if they keep this skill, they're out walking at night and someone's, they'll get a sense and go, oh, there's someone with a bad intention up ahead. I'll go this way. So there's so many applications on how it can be benefit people, benefit the world.
which goes into beautifully the other synchronistic thing that happened with you recommending that I listen to the
Oh, yeah.
telepathy. Say that word, telepathy. I knew I was going to say it wrong if I had to talk about it.
Yeah.
So if it
No,
comes up, I know I'm going to say it
it's,
wrong. The
yeah.
oh God. Okay, let me try again. The
Yes.
telepathy. Is that right? The telepathy
Yes.
tapes?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So the
yeah.
thing with this podcast that you shared is that I didn't get time to listen to it. And a couple of weeks later, I'm driving down to Sydney with my partner, and he says, "Oh, I've just been recommended this podcast. I'm going to put it on."
Yeah.
And it was the telepathy tapes, do you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sure that my new friend,
Yes.
everyone's my new friend now,
Yes.
and shared this with me. And then I thought, what a synchronistic moment that was. And
Yeah.
I'm on the 8th episode. I believe that there's 9 so far.
So far, yeah.
And I'm so blown away by that
It's
too,
amazing.
because
Yeah.
these autistic non-speaking children are using their minds to communicate. And yeah, you tell me what you think, because you shared it with me. So I'd love to hear your
Oh, look,
opinion and your
no,
viewpoint on it.
these children are getting assistance with communication. There's, communication devices that they can now start to communicate, even though they've got very limited control over their body. It's very gross motor functions, but the level of intelligence and the awareness of these children is beyond anything that we could ever have imagined. Like, I think these children are going to be teaching us things soon. You know,
Mm.
their awareness is just phenomenal. Like, they talk they talk telepathically with their families, but also with each other across the world. Like, they have locations that they meet and speak to each other, and it's like they just, I can't even describe it. It's so amazing. It's
They call that the
yeah.
hill, don't they? Because of
They
a
meet on
couple
the
of
hill.
episodes, they meet
Yes.
on the hill.
Yeah.
And I recommend everybody to listen to this
Yeah.
podcast.
It will blow your mind. It really will. Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
will. And I love the story. Well, obviously they shared a lot of the experiments they were doing with the children. So
Yeah.
a lot of the episodes are covering real life experiments with these children and the scientists and whoever else is in the room. I know that the lady that created this podcast, she's going to do a documentary film as well.
Yeah.
And so I know this is all her research over the last few years, and she's really bringing it to the forefront of people's awareness, because a lot of these families, they're shunned and not believed, and the skeptics want to keep them
Yeah.
silent. And so
That's right.
I remember in one of the episodes, there was lots of children that were being medicated or not understood, and these are really highly intelligent human beings.
Super intelligent. They have superpowers, you know.
I
They really
feel
do.
like they're more advanced than we are, because
Yes.
isn't like telepathy, oh, I'm getting it. Isn't it just a pure like form of consciousness that or communication? It's
Yeah.
in its
Yeah.
very
It's like,
very simple terms. It's
that's right.
unbelievable.
Yeah. To be able to do that, like to tune into that frequency and be able
Yes.
to meet in groups and have conversations with each other. It's just amazing. And the mums didn't believe it at first, but then
Yeah.
the mum of that one on the other side of the country would say, find this child that her son's like, oh, such and such is my friend. And they're like, how? There's so much evidence that they are really doing this. You can't sort of deny it anymore.
Yeah, yes, you can't. And did you remember I can't remember which podcast episode it was in. I think it could have been number 5. Do you remember the story about the elephants?
Yeah.
It was where that elephant whisperer, I think I have his name
Oh,
somewhere.
yes, yes.
Lawrence Anthony.
Yeah.
He was known as the elephant whisperer, and he had a unique ability to communicate with the elephants
Yes.
that were like traumatized. But then when he passed away
Yeah.
of a heart attack, these elephants spent days going to his home. I think it was 9 hours away or something.
Yeah, they traveled for days.
They didn't even know
walk
he was
to
dead.
his home. Yeah.
Yes,
How would
and
they
then
know? Yeah.
And then they stay there for 2 days like a vigil. So these elephants were around his home for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then they go back on the anniversary of
Every
his death every year. I'm
Every
just
year.
like,
I
what?
know. So
And that's like a story I had to Google it afterwards.
yeah.
But that story is out there. And so
Yeah.
even animals, they were talking about animals
yeah.
having all these telepathic abilities. So yes,
Exactly.
it's
Like,
definite
I think they are
must
more
listen
advanced
to.
than us in that area too. Yeah.
Why do you think that all this is coming out now and people are waking up to it more? Because I know that the science community, we live in a materialistic world where the ideology is that everything's matter and material, and there isn't really much consciousness out there. But as we know, and as the extraocular vision and even near-death experiences or all this otherworldly, I guess, what's the word? It's not paranormal, but because it's not paranormal.
Otherworldly phenomena that's
Yeah,
coming
phenomena.
out.
That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Irma. I think my words have got away with me today.
Yeah.
Why do you think this is coming out now and, for instance, this podcast is happening?
I think the more that the cracks are forming and people are seeing the reality, the more people are braver and putting it out there. And it's like hopefully the 100th monkey syndrome or whatever, where eventually it'll just be like common knowledge or normal that, oh yeah, of course that is real. You look in history how people thought the world was flat and then they think it's round. It's like perceptions can shift and change. So maybe in 100 years, they'll look back at us and go, wow, that was so funny 100 years ago how they thought telepathy wasn't real. I think it's just things change with the times, don't they? The more
Mm.
people are believing in it, the more people do believe.
It's exciting, I think, what's happening.
That's so exciting. This is so much more fun than the boring material 3D world. This is like, yeah, it's so alive and real, and it's it's just so connected.
And it's given a voice to the people that have been silenced or ridiculed. And
Yeah.
there's a theme that I found listening to these kind of podcasts. In fact, I think that's only the third one I've ever listened to. But in terms of documentaries or anything that I've watched about this, even
Yeah.
on Gaia, it's that whenever you put things out there that are kind of against that materialistic worldview, is you're shut down. And they
Yeah.
don't wanna believe that their work is, a bit of a lie or it's not the full
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
And people have lost their jobs and
Yeah.
careers
Even in
and
in that podcast, I mentioned a professor who studied it, lost her job because she put out a study in this area, and that was enough. They didn't even read the study. She was just fired because
mm,
of what she was studying,
mm.
or whatever.
I remember that story, and they actually reinstated it
Yeah.
after they realised that
After
she
they
had
read
done
it.
her research. And it's like the damage was already done.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she'd already lost her reputation. It's hard
An
to hear.
there is an institute, I believe, called the IONS. What does it stand for? The Institute of Noetic Sciences. Is that
That
correct?
sounds about right, yeah.
And they do study consciousness, and they've got lots of scientists. And I think one's Dean Radin. I think I've got his book, Something Magic. I haven't finished reading it yet. So
Yeah,
there are establishments coming out now that are studying consciousness. What
that's
do you
great.
think? Do you think that that's just
About
the
time.
start of many?
Yeah. Look, I think because it is just opening up, once people realize it's not taboo anymore and they're allowed to study it, I think things will grow exponentially. We'll learn. I think even they said it on the podcast, like in 5 years, we'll learn more than we've learned in the last 100 years once we're
Mm.
allowed to study it and once it's okay.
Wait until the aliens arrive.
Yeah.
Then
That'll be interesting.
I don't
Can't
know.
wait.
I don't know if my podcast will still be around then, because then I can bring an alien on to
Yeah,
interview.
yeah, that would be fun.
I shouldn't say arrive because they're already
Well,
around us.
yeah, yeah.
I kind of mean being present, showing
Yes,
them to us.
accepted in society maybe without people freaking out.
I'm slowly easing people into those topics. I think I
Yes.
might try and get Mary Rodwell on in maybe next year.
Yeah, that'd be
I've
great,
already
yeah.
connected with her. For those that don't know, she's, I'd say, called like the alien lady or something. I watched a documentary actually that she put out about aliens. That was fascinating in itself. But we're off topic now, as
Yes,
these
as
podcasts
happens,
tend
yes.
to go. So, with going back to these children, seeing without their eyes, and I guess the
Yes,
official term again is extraocular vision for those that want to do their own research.
yes.
You've been working with these children for a while. What's your vision? What would you love to see happen with these children or with this sort of modality? Like, would you like to see it
Ah,
in schools? Would you like to
yeah.
see it in people's homes, like parents done it, like I did?
Look, I think it should be everywhere. Like, ideally, if you know, I guess I've thought about how would you get it out there, and I sort of thought, like, I've tried a few schools, and they don't really understand or they're not always open to it. So probably the easiest way in might be an after school activity. But if you could get it into the schools, I think it would be so beneficial for the class, for the children, for the teachers, for the school, because these kids are going to be, their intelligence is going to flourish. It's going to unlock their true potential. They're going to be more engaged. They're going to get on better with each other because they can sense energy. So they can sense when someone's upset and cheer them up, or they can sense the effect of their words and not say things, they won't be as inclined to say something that's harsh. they will flourish in the topics that they want to flourish in. Like whatever their talent is, they'll get better at that. And eventually they won't need to wear the mask. So the mask is there to sort of, it's like a training thing. But I think after a while, they'll be able to do it just by closing their eyes. Then after that, they won't even need to close their eyes anymore, if you know what I mean. It'll become who they are. Does that sort of make sense?
It does, yes. A
This
couple of
like,
things came to mind when you were saying
yes,
that. First of all, the bullying aspect of what's happening in schools lately.
yeah,
It seems like every time I look at the news headlines, and I try to avoid the news as much as possible, there's
yeah,
another young teenager that's committed suicide because they're being
yeah,
bullied.
yeah,
And imagine if the children were learning these skills and having that empathy
yeah,
for others, how it could
exactly.
revolutionize
Yeah.
schools.
That's right, because these kids are hurting and the bullies are hurting too. Otherwise, they wouldn't feel the need to lash out at people or to belittle other people to make themselves feel better. So I think it would just unravel all that sort of negative structure that's sort of in place and allow people just to work harmoniously again.
Mm, doesn't that sound beautiful?
Wouldn't it be nice? Won't it be nice?
I guess because that's probably a little way off. I mean, I like to be optimistic
Yeah,
that
maybe next
probably
year. Yeah.
yeah, not next week. I mean, you're giving me more business ideas that I probably
Ah,
don't
yeah.
need, because the school thing might take a while for them to be re-educated on another level
Yeah.
of consciousness that
Yeah.
everyone's kind of like, it doesn't exist, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I guess starting in the homes with the parents. So if any
yeah.
parents are listening and they want to learn this, how would they learn it in the best
There's
time possible?
there's lots of different ways to learn it. I've learnt a few different methods, shall I say. I've learned Karen's method in Canada, which is original sight. And there's also heaps of books out there. I've got a few books. There's also Facebook pages. Um,
Yeah, beautiful.
so yeah,
Well, I'm sure there's lots of parents listening going, oh my gosh, I want to try this.
yes.
But we need to really point out this isn't like a party trick
No.
that we want
It's
them like, oh, look what my child can do.
yeah,
And not every
exactly.
child's going to get it straight away. And it's not a
Yeah.
competition, and it's something you can do privately in your home. I heard the story actually of a, a family, and I can't remember where it was, it's somewhere in Europe, where the couple were having marriage issues and they were on the verge of divorce. And then they taught their child this, or they went for classes, and then it was like a love energy that got transpired into the family in the home. And then this couple just reunited. And
Yeah.
because I know I'm a romantic
Yes.
sook, but when I
Yeah.
heard this story, I thought, oh my gosh, we really don't know the power of this modality
No.
and how it
No.
can help families stay together for a start.
Yeah.
Or obviously, that if they're not meant to, then they're not meant to.
Then
But
they're not. Yeah.
then, we
But it
don't
can
want them
be
staying together.
amicable.
But yet, it can
Yeah.
be amicable and just opening up the hearts and minds of
Yeah.
families and siblings and seeing what else is happening.
Yeah.
I just think it's such a fascinating area to explore.
No, it is. It is. And I feel like only good things can come from it, can come from being connected to your heart and your soul and from working from that place. So yeah.
And we need more of that, don't we? So what's
Yes.
in store for you and where you're going? Because I know, obviously, I mentioned that you did quantum hypnosis
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you
So
kindly did a session for me, and I went
yeah.
to past lives, all
Yes, you
sorts of
did.
places.
All sorts of fun.
Um,
Off plan.
and
I think
I
they were off
thought,
plan. Yes.
yeah, well, I actually thought I never really believed in hypnosis, or I never really understood it. And so,
Yes.
when that happened, and it was, even though we recorded it and I listened to it back, it still felt weird. Like, it was like, did
Yeah.
I make
Yeah.
that up? Like,
Yeah.
um, so what are you up to at the moment? What's the
So,
future for
I
you?
mean, they all tie in. It all has a similar thread running through it. So it's all about connecting to your energy, learning to use your own energy, getting information from yourself, from your higher self. So that's same with the seeing with your eyes. It's like it opens up a channel to your higher self as well. So these kids are able to tap into that. I also do quantum healing hypnosis technique, which was Dolores Cannon. but I'm just learning a new one now called Soul Center Healing Hypnosis, which is, it's amazing. So it's my new favorite thing. I'm having lots of fun with it.
I can see
And
you
it's,
glowing as you say that.
yeah, it's similar to QHHT in that you do past life regression or other life. You don't always go to a past life. You could go anywhere. Could go to a future life, your life as an extraterrestrial, who knows. You connect with your higher self, but before you do that, you have an entity release sort of session. So that's clearing any energies, entities, things that you've picked up in your life that are blocking you or stopping you from sort of reaching your true potential. So I guess all of my things that I do are about helping people to reach their true potential. You don't usually do the hypnosis sessions on children.
No, just for adults.
Yeah, but the seeing with the blindfold is an activity you can do with children. So I guess I want to cover the whole spectrum from kids up to adults.
Well, I've got to point out, as you said at the beginning of this podcast, you lost your husband and here you are as a single mom to 3 boys doing all of these beautiful things for the world. And so I just want to take my hat off you and recognize you as a powerhouse mother who is a visionary. I do want to say you sent me a message saying you wasn't sure that you were you were a visionary voice.
Someone worth
it. Because, I want to make it clear that people on this podcast, they don't have to be this huge famous person changing millions of lives. A visionary voice can be someone like yourself who has turned their pain into some purpose as well, wanting to help others.
Yeah.
And with everything that you're doing, which isn't an easy thing to sell. It's not like you can go out there and tell everyone about it because people are so skeptical about these things. And I get that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to recognize that in you because
that's very kind of you.
It's not what everyone could do. So you've done an amazing, amazing job.
Thank you.
And I know you're a great mom.
Thank you. Very kind. And so are you. If I didn't get something from it, I wouldn't be doing it. So I feel like it's helping me on my healing journey to learn these things. And as I keep growing and learning, I'll try different things and okay, so if it works for me, then I want to help use that with other people to help other people as well.
And you do that and you've got such a beautiful, giving, kind heart. And I just want to say thank you for all that you've given to me over the last few months and just that support that you've given me. And I just wanted to give that appreciation to you right now as we're coming to the end of the podcast. Remember my final question? It's the only one I've drafted. Imagine you're 80 years old. Looking back, your vision of having this in schools, the extraocular vision has come to life. What would you say the 3 key factors are that helped bring your vision to fruition? Vision to fruition.
It's like you keep following the breadcrumbs. You keep doing what you're drawn to do. And I feel like I keep going in all these different directions and then all the pieces start falling into place and linking together. And even though I still don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing with all this work, I feel like if I just keep following the breadcrumbs, I'll get there. And the further I go down the path, the more I feel, oh, yes, this is something that aligns with who I am and aligns with the work I want to do. So I feel like I'm on the right track. Yeah.
And I think to add to that, it's the awareness for the parents and for the people to understand, the teachers, for the parents to understand this, for it to also come alive, for people to start waking up to.
That's right. For teachers or parents to go, oh, I think my child needs to learn this, or I think the children would really benefit. Some homeschool groups have been doing it. So it's like it's starting to be seen as something that can be done at school or at home. And I think, the more people that start doing it, the more accepted it is and the more people will want to do it when they see the results and the benefits.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to incorporating it into what I'm setting up with Live School and the hub that I'm creating in the area. And then I hope then to roll it out. So it will be part of that homeschooling, just a small part, that people can learn and we can potentially put like a course up online and people can go on and learn it that way. And we want to make sure that people have got access to it and people don't keep this information to themselves.
Exactly, because it
we want
has
to make
been,
mainstream.
yeah, a lot of cultures, there's quite a few cultures, this has been normal within their cultures, but it has been kept quiet for whatever reason. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, we definitely don't want to keep it quiet, and
No,
obviously
let's
being
get
on
it
this
out there.
podcast,
Yes.
we
We're
are
putting it
spreading
out
the
there.
we are spreading the message that children have these capabilities that have been suppressed, and they have many benefits, and it's exciting to see what's coming over the next few years.
Yeah. Yes,
I'm really
exactly.
excited, and I really thank you for your time and being part of this discussion
No,
today.
thank
I know
you.
that
Thanks
we've
for having
gone
me
into
on.
different places
Yes.
and
Very privileged. So
it's all my pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone
No
listening,
worries.
and we'll
Yay.
catch you very soon. Take care.
Yay.
Right, bye. Much love. Bye.